Hey everyone. Sometimes I receive a lot of questions about how are you doing for holding swings so long. Sometimes you can get 25 points, 20 points swings within an intraday in the mini session. So it's not so easy to do that. For most of the people are looking for quick profit, quick trades, and take profits as soon as possible, and just has the strategy to make swings all the time, you know. And this is why I think that is really important. I think swings are really the key for the consistency in the long term. That's why I'm focusing on in try to masterize how we can make swings in every market. It implies that you're not, perhaps you need to have a different trade management, but also a different financial management of your trading strategy or your trading business, let's say that way, right? So here the intention is to show something about how we can how we can set swings within the day. A couple of things that are really important. Why this is the key, right? So I'm gonna try to make my point why this is the key, and then how we can identify good entries, and the most important piece of a swing. I'll tell you what I think it is the most important element to consider when we're making swings. First of all, the god of trading, Brooks always say that, he always say when we're beginner, or you're trying to start making trading, the best thing that you can do is try to look for swings, right? He say that normally a swing can take two legs and 10 bars. So that's the minimum I will say that you can get for a swing. When you're looking at a swing, you have to think on two legs at least, right? 98% of the days has at least one swing. And swing can be even short as just one bar. If you have a target, and it's hit it in just one bar, that's great. Result is typically between 20% to 40% of a typical day's range. It's in terms of quantity of points that you can get, right? So you get 40% of the day in swings will be great, right? So that's a good result. At least 2x risk, what you're risking, 2x size of a scalp, more than 3 times average bar size. So that's where you some reference that you can get as a target, as a result, financially speaking, right? So those are more financially speaking. When um, we talk about probability, swings at 40% of probability, and you're gonna see, well, you're gonna hit 40%. That's about my percentage of gains is about 45%, 50%, lifetime. And this is because I'm focusing on swings, right? And that's true. You can take more more losses, but also small gains always, right? So not always you get losses. So you have that good probability, and then when we goes to why this probability is acceptable, it is because of this. For scalper, scalper is a person that is focusing getting quick profits in less than 5 bars. You need to get a percentage of gain of 60%, right? At least. And then for gain, you have to make at least 1x for your entry, for your risk that you're expecting, at least 1x, in order that you can be profitable. And for getting 2x your risk, in general, in the long term, you need to you need to make 1.5, right? So, but usually, scalper is getting one on one and get out of the market. But when we talk about swing trader in the intraday, We took traders usually of 40% of probability, or yeah, about around 40% probability, right? And then you see here when you got a trade of 1.5, you get even, basically, right? So you don't need to you don't need to you expose less risk, and then you can get 1.5 and you can get even, but that's not the goal, right? So if you gain 1x your trade, you're gonna get 1.75 of your risk. And if you gain 2x, you're gonna get 2 for getting 2x, you're gonna have two times your risk in terms of swing trading. The key is that you have here two variables that you can improve, let's say that way. You can improve your gain percentage, and you can improve your profit gain loss ratio, right? So those variables that you can improve. It is easier to improve those two variables when you compare versus a scalper. You have to get more than 60%, 70% of gains, and then your gain loss ratio based on your scalper is gonna keep the same. Basically one or 1.5, no more than that. So the variables are really hardest to improve in the scalper strategy. But then in the swing trader, the one once you get better gain ratio, uh, you're gonna be better in terms of gaining, of course, right? So, and then if you get three times, four times, five times trade, you're gonna be better too. So that's why I think that once you lost sometimes here four of the ten out of the ten trades here, the four that you can gain not only two, you can gain more, three times, four times, and sometimes 10 times have been done some sometimes. The thing is that you need to you need to be conscious that not all of the time you're gonna get more than 2x, right? But usually we have 3x trades during the day, right? So that's what normally happens. I'm not gonna spend time here, but it's basically we have two contexts to trade, right? It's trading range and trend. So basically all is, you know, there is there is one book just focus on trend. There is one book just focus on trading range, and he explained a lot how to trade in both sides. But what we focus here is basically when we are in trading range, we need to thinking just swing two legs. So we buy low and sell high, and you swing two legs looking when we're talking about swing, looking into the extreme, right? The top of the low of the tree, right? That's basically strategy, right? It doesn't matter the signal bar, it doesn't matter, the huge bar that is testing the extreme. It's just enter low, and that's it. And then in the trend it's more profitable in terms of swing because you can get some flags, and then it's a better the best context for making more money, or even longer swings. This is not all the time. 10% of the time we have trends. Above 10% of the time. So when we have a trend, we need to take advantage of that, right? Some of the setup for swings you see here, and there is a pattern in the graph and the setup that we can at least I monitor that, and the rewards and the green light here is the best setups in my opinion. There is elements that we need to consider, like context and risk. When I say risk, is about where value trading or a momentum trading, probability low, low, high, high, low, low, and targets, right? So that's basically, and then I'm gonna talk quickly about targets because It is important. Entry is about, you know, when we're talking about swing, it's better to placing. I recommend to placing stop order on swings. This is logical in order to improve the probability in your favor. So to set a clear stop, right? So, and it's also it's important because when you set a clear stop, you know clearly where's gonna be your risk, and depending on that, you can enter even with a higher risk depending on the side of the bars. You can bet more, right, in that trade. Um, FBO flags in favor of trend of excellent value entries like limit or fade. It's something that we can do. So I'm not gonna spend more time in entries, but when we're trending, we need to make operate always in. We can use even 1 minute for entries. That can also help to anticipate using stop orders in 1 minute. In the training range is basically we need to wait 2 legs at least, right? So testing the streams of the range, or testing trend lines in the white channel, something like that, that you can use that in order that set your expectation about breakout failures of that string or that channel line, or something like that. So and then finally, I want to make my point about targets. The key of making a longer swing is to manage all the emotional charge that is involved. The first thing that we must identify are the targets. That's the key thing. You have a clear target. You have identified what is the goal. You can identify what is your minimum swing target, the minimum one. Let's say, as I'll say, 2 legs, 10 bars, or what is the maximum potential of that swing depending on what the market is telling you, right? So you based on that, you can take decisions about your management, right? So there is some benchmark that you can use for setting targets, but basically the benchmark that we have for the market before the trading session is about the high of the year, the yesterday, low of yesterday, major swings, at least stress test, higher target frame prices reference daily, M60. I'm particularly like diagonal lines, so those basically is horizontal lines, right? So making reference. And then from the market benchmark of the day, you have the opening of the day. In case of trading range days, is always looking for testing that opening of the day, or usually is testing that opening of the day, opening gaps, on-field gap, micro gaps within bars, opening closure of climatic bars, and the day, half of the day, or benchmark. You can see here all of them all are also horizontal lines. And from market patterns, you can see leg one, leg two. You can use Fibonacci for setting this leg one, leg two after breakout of any pattern. Measure move of the pattern, break it out. In broad channels, new highs, new lows are good targets. Channel lines, when we have in expanded triangle or something like that, lower top of the swings, channel star after spike, wedge flag start, 2 legs. So those are the ways that we can set targets in targets. Again, as we have a huge emotional component here in the swings. You need to set targets and be clear about that's the potential that we can get there, right? So and then you can measure your swing target based on the range of the day. Sometimes you have a rest range of the day, and then you can go for it, right? So based on what is happening, uh, and this is important. And this is not greedy about I have 20 points and I'm gonna make 50 points. No, it's about the potential that market has, right? So and then you can set in your trade management some premises in the way that you can decide if you want to exit or not, and all make clear some of those eventuals or things that you can consider to exit, right? My trade management is the following. If I am in a swing and I get my minimum goal, and we have an L2 or H2 showing up, I will exit below or above that H L1 H2. So two legs, and then if I trigger below an L2 or above an H2, I'm out. That's basically. Well, I want to share this with you. If you like this video, please click the like button. And for the ones that didn't subscribe, I'll make something more like this for you guys in the future. Thank you very much.